Misinformation Part 3 B. As I was saying before, my evil lack of responsibility ass sibling called to make sure that I get her child off the bus at 3:30. You know, when you look for shit, you generally will find it. And most people don't want to look for shit. They just want to go with what someone else told them through the grapevine. So let me catch y'all all up to speed. I didn't believe that fucking Trump had an issue with Native Americans. Then I remembered something about it in the 90s because that happened around the O.J. Simpson murder thing, and while O.J. Simpson was supposedly killing his white wife and her boyfriend, Donald Trump was attacking Native Americans over casino rights and privileges to have casinos tax-free, which again is like slightly bullshit, slightly not. Depends on your point of view. Now, you ask Native Americans, they'll straight up tell you, yeah, this motherfucker wanted to go on a warpath over some motherfucking casino shit, as if he didn't have enough casinos. He wanted to take and infringe on their land. And the only thing he could say is, I guess because the Native Americans don't look like me, or they don't look like him, they had on suits and ties. And not all Native Americans wear buckskin these days. They actually do keep up with the majority of the world. Yeah. But the problem is that we are all misinformed on some level or another. Now, if he can get up on here and prove that Donald Trump was forced by the Democrats to remove a Democratic bill that the Democrats president signed, hey, then he would be right. But I know from the videos that I've watched in his whole goddamn campaign, you couldn't have missed it, where he straight up called Mexicans murderers. Women were just sex objects to him that he could grab by the pussies because he's famous and he can grab them by the pussies and the boobs and there's nothing they can do. One of the actresses from Days of Our Lives said he fondled her ass. Like when she shook his hand and stood beside him and he went to go hug her and then he like fondled her literally on the ass. And I'm like, okay, and it would be the one that played Nicole on Days of Our Lives. No. Now, here's the thing. Misinformation is a dangerous thing. You know, let's go to the Korean War, for instance. You know, there's a lot of misinformation about the Korean War, which is why South Korea is with us while North Korea is not. There's a lot of shit that happened back then. I wasn't born, you weren't born, and the people who were born probably aren't watching this shit. But they know what was going on, and the vets damn sure know. Now let's go to Vietnam. I was born on the tail end of that, so as I'm growing up, Vietnam's coming to an end. Vietnam ended in 75 or 76, which would make me 3 or 2, depending on if it was 75 or 73. 76, excuse me. Now, the whole thing, Vietnam was more or less, and my uncles who served told me, from what they were collectively allowed to say, that Vietnam more or less was a motherfucking drug war. You know, a drug and turf war that spilled over in the cities that, you know, innocent people were getting killed over shit that had nothing to do with Americans, and American politics stepped in to try and help people, and then we did what we could, and then we were forced back out. Alright, so Vietnam is one of those topics that will always be there. Same thing with basically any war that we in NATO, because American Army is the bulk of NATO, when we go in, when the UN sends us in, we're not going in there to play. We're going in to negotiate, and if negotiations fail, then we are able to extract deadly force. I'm probably not wording that correctly because extraction means we're leaving, but we are able to actually go in and engage the insurgents, which the enemies become, or we become the insurgents, depending on how you want to perceive that. We go in, we do the job that we're supposed to do and straighten this up. Same thing with Bin Laden, and same thing with Saddam Hussein. And it's the same thing that was going on with Cuba and all this other bullshit that was going on. Again, misinformation is a deadly thing. And when we're misinformed, we only get like 3% of what is actually going on. When I was enlisted, the tsunami hit. I had no idea that the tsunami hit Japan because I was at Fort Benning, Georgia, with my face down in the dirt, with either Drill Sergeant White and Stoltz telling me to do push-ups, or we were sweeping, or we were cleaning, or we were doing drills whenever the damn tsunami hit. I also had a niece born somewhere while I was gone. Alright? So, you know, again, misinformation is one of the world's most deadliest weapons of them all. Propaganda, misinformation, those things can really fuck up your political standing, regardless of what side of the track you're on. Now, if you've been watching my channel, y'all all know that I am not a fan of the guy that's having sex with the devil's unicorn. And if y'all are fans of his and you choose to leave me, I don't have the right to be mad. Not really. Because you have that right. You have the right to vote. When you turn 18, you have the right to vote. You have the right to successfully take our country into the next phase of what's going to happen to our nation. But be forewarned, the information that you receive might not always be genuine. Now, when I talked about the 90s with Donald Trump, I have literally posted that same video on here by putting my TV, going to YouTube on my PlayStation, and showing it over aspect after aspect of, you don't look like Native Americans to me. So, if me and this young man, and I worked this out so much in my head on the way down the street to come and make this video, if him and I both went to Donald Trump and probably asked him privately, Donald Trump secretly might not be a racist. He might be like, well, you know what? Let me see what I can do for y'all, because I got more money than either of you can shake a fucking stick at. And I'll still have money to drop you a guap, and no one's going to know, because I write it up, it'll be a tax write-off, and it'll be your problem, not mine. And that's pretty much how it is. But here's the problem. And we're in public, and he looks at me, and he'll tell, first thing he'll think is that I'm probably a Mexican. And he'll tell me, I need to go the fuck back over that wall. I was born here. I wasn't born in East LA, I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia, at a university hospital. I am not a Mexican. I get that a lot. But here's a newsflash for you assholes who don't know that Mexicans are Native Americans. They're also Asian, just in case you guys don't know. Every person who is a Native American, of Native American descent, no matter what tribe you come from, all Native American tribes originated in Asia and splintered off when they got here. Alright? That's being said almost every one of my videos. Secondly, this guy's from Dominican Republic. He also looks like a Mexican. So the first thing Donald Trump would tell him is to go the fuck back over that imaginary wall that he's going to put up. Because Donald Trump strongly believes that Mexicans and anybody who's not born here are literally terrorists. Now, before he got in, you know, there was radicalized terrorism from the Indians without the dots. Without the feathers, the dots. They shot up some places, the husband and wife, and the first thing they did was say that, okay, these guys were Muslims, so now Muslims are getting it left and right. And let's not forget the travel ban that he put on Muslims in Muslim countries, which I don't know if are still going or not. So, anyway, I just pulled a nostril hair. I know you guys saw it. But anyway, the whole thing is, in the public eye, because Whoopi Goldberg said the other day, that Donald Trump she knew is not the fucker that ran for office. She said she don't know when he changed, but he wasn't always this way. And that has been said by him by more than one person, and by more than Whoopi Goldberg. And that's probably why Whoopi Goldberg doesn't like him now, because he's fucking disgusting. You know? Now, he's done his little stint on the WWE when he went broke, because even Vince was richer than him at one point in time, and Vince might still be richer than him, and Vince helped him out. You know, Vince has even shaved his hair for Donald Trump to give Donald Trump a break. For those who don't know, go back a couple of years to like 97, 98, somewhere in the 90s, in the early 2000s. Go back and watch how Donald Trump made it rain and whatever. Madison Square Garden, I think is where it was. But all that money was Vince's money. And he dumped it on everybody because Donald Trump said, here, not only did I pay for all your tickets, but I'm going to give you all the money back. And that's why when he did the CNN footage, him and Fox News or whatever, with him beating the hell out of it, that was Vince McMahon's body, but the news station's thing on there. But yeah, back when that happened, Donald had filed bankruptcy for like the third or fourth time. Again, misinformation can be a dangerous fucking thing. Now, after that, you know, apparently some things were done, some auditing, some switching, some flipping, some sales were made, and he got back all the money that he lost and was back on top, and the Trump empire has excelled since then. But the thing is, he's not infallible. None of us are infallible. And my videos did chunk him down. It's because it's how I feel. And he's not the only victim of me chunking him down. Umar Johnson really got it. Because when I dug into him for hating people who are mixed, for hating people who date out their race, for doing all the things that he does things, it's kind of a mixed bag. I don't just pick on people for my cause. I pick on people because you're either going to do the right thing or you're not. And the right thing sometimes is black and white, and sometimes there's shades of gray. But misinformation comes in all colors. And when I found out how bad that Donald Trump really didn't like Native Americans, and how I found out how bad that Umar Johnson really didn't like black people who dated white women, or Asian women, or Mexican women who technically are Asian women. And when I found out, I was like, dude, I can't come to your school because my mom looks white. And she's not white, but she can pass for a white lady. How the fuck, if I'm a kid going to his school, I have to denounce my other half? Again, misinformation is a dangerous thing. Because before that video, and before the video last month about the things that I just addressed that he said, I was behind it. I'm still behind the school. He ain't getting a damn dime out of me, though, because he's only going to hire 2 white people because he doesn't want to be sued for discrimination. And he doesn't want to get a tax problem. So what the fuck does that mean? You've become the one thing that you were against. You were against white supremacy. Now you're a black supremacist. So what the fuck did you do? You became the exact reflection of what you were fighting against to begin with. And if you hate people in general, if you just hate people because of the color of their skin, which is something none of us can change. Okay, maybe 2 people in the world have changed it. Recently, I've heard that Sammy Sosa has done the same skin bleaching technique that Michael Jackson has done. Now, I don't know how much of that is true, and I don't give a damn. If Sammy Sosa wants to be lighter than me, knock yourself out, Sammy Sosa. Alright? Michael Jackson wanted to be light. Hey, knock yourself out. This here's all natural, buddy. And no, I don't want to be any damn darker, but I don't need to be any lighter either. I'm happy and content with the color I'm in. Now, the problem is I have to prove to the black people that I'm black. I have to prove to the Native American people that I'm Native American. And I will never be able to prove to the white people that I'm white unless my mom is standing right beside me. All right, I have photos. That's pretty much the gist of it right there. They're like, God, I've had friends who are white who says my mom is whiter than their mom. And that's because my mom is pasty pale white. Okay. So fucking what? The thing about misinformation, though. Misinformation is dangerous for the simple fact that you can't, and I unequivocally say this, you can't. Why is this shit not working? I hate technology. You can't sit here and say something about someone and purposely destroy a person's idol or dreams without facts. And the thing about facts is, facts are not theories. Facts are proof of concept. Where a theory is a blanket guess. Let's keep it real. A theory is a blanket guess that at best, you have to prove a theory into becoming a fact. Where a fact has already been proven. It's been proven time and time and time again. Now, I'm going to probably get in trouble for this. Let's see if I can find one without somebody else's children embracing my mom. No. But the whole major concept of this video is misinformation. And like I said, what you don't know can kill you. What you don't know can come back to bite you in the ass when you least expect it. And the problem with that is that most people don't know that they're being misinformed. They don't know that they're being misdirected because the propaganda machine is a bad motherfucker. And the thing with the propaganda machine is that, propaganda in itself is a problem. You can have good propaganda, you have bad propaganda. The fact of the matter that you have propaganda to begin with is a problem. But that misinformation, that is one of those things that once it happens, it's pretty much a done deal, set in stone, that, now you got to find a way to prove to people or to prove your point, because if you don't, you're virtually screwed. No one wants to be virtually screwed over something that you can fix. There are a lot of things you can't fix. But the one thing that is constant, you can't change the truth. You can't undo it. You can't erase it. You can't do anything that can cause a problem. You know. The whole point is that, when we don't know something is one thing, but when we know something but we don't know that it's wrong is when shit gets complicated. I could be misinformed on everything I just said. Everything. But the video evidence is more in my favor than not in my favor with the way Trump doesn't like Native Americans. The way that Trump clearly stated how all Mexicans and everybody were rapists and murderers and shit. There's video evidence of the shit. There's straight up, unequivocal video evidence of the shit. And proof in the pudding, I can give you proof in the pudding if that's what you want. I can call it all in one word. Bush. Billy Bush. That's me and my mother right there. And I'm going to close out with this. Misinformation is a deadly thing. Try to remember it. I'm James Smith, come for number 2, BC.